Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new Simeone card to review today. An interesting one because he had a player of the month at the time, so I'm very familiar with how this card performs in game, to be honest, from that player of the month card. It was more of a player that you had to use in a two-striker lineup, where he's the type of guy that's going to make those runs from time to time, right? That's the type of cards these guys are. Like him, the Erling Haaland card, right? So usually with cards like this, nowadays for the meta of the game now, because it's a little bit different than it was before, right? But a card like this on balance instructions should be perfectly fine in that two-striker lineup, but it's the type of card that you can also give a get in behind to really force that attacking out of the card and make those runs in behind the defense, right? So that's kind of the thing that you work with the most. With Simeone, we're going to be trying him out with the engine chemistry style and the hunter, because if we take a look at this card in game, right, on the engine chemistry style, he gets 94 acceleration, 93 for sprint speed, but you do balance, or you do boost the balance, agility, and dribbling as much as possible on this card, but he does have the average body type. So normally, guys, when you have the average body type and your dribbling is set up a certain way from a base standpoint, they are cards you have to work with a little bit in regards to dribbling. Like with Correa, I have to work with his dribbling, but it's worth it because his attacking AI is awesome, right? So could be a similar situation with Simeone on an engine, because look at his base card stats for shooting. It's actually set up really, really nicely on the card, right? So it's going to be a situation where I don't think there's a right or wrong between a hunter or an engine, because if you give him a hunter, his shooting is going to be improved by quite a bit. His attacking position will be improved by quite a bit. Extra pace. But obviously, you have to work with the dribbling a little bit more, right? So we're going to be taking a look at that in game. But yeah, 5'11", high, right-footed, 3-star, 3-star. Two-striker formation, right side, most of the time. So we're going to be trying him out in the left striker position sometimes, just to see what he's like. But, you know. Player traits, he has solid player trait, power header trait. In-game attributes, we are going to give him, again, the engine chemistry style and the hunter. But base card stats are pace is set up really nicely. Shooting is actually set up really nicely. The only shots you can't really take too often with him is going to be long shots, unless you don't care about the pace, right? And you just slap a nice little finisher chemistry style on it. But even still, you can't really improve the long shots, right? So if you don't care about the pace, but you want to improve him dribbling and shooting wise, you could totally give him a finisher as well. It's not necessarily a terrible choice. You just can't get those through balls, lob passes as much as possible, right? Base card stats are passing pretty solid on the card. It's just long passing that's not as good. Dribbling we will be experimenting with, because he is a 5'11" player with an average body type, right? So those are things you have to take into consideration. With his defending, he actually has 99 heading accuracy with 99 jumping. So it is a card that could potentially win the ball in the air. So we'll try some shots with timing as well as not timing to see what it's like. And then he also has 82 for strength and then 84 for aggression. So it's a card that if you put him in your team, you want to use them as much as possible as a runner type, right? This is going to be the type of card for sure. But with Simeone, guys, we are going to be trying him out in the 4-1-2-2 forward runs tactic, playing in that left striker, right striker position. We're going to be rotating it, as well as that 4-4-2, playing in that left striker, right striker position, just to see what he's like attacking AI-wise and whether or not he can score some of the opportunities. So yeah, we'll see how he plays in game. Hopefully he is a beast. Yeah, I just wanted to go for a first time there. Not a bad strike on a green. Not a bad strike. Yeah, so that's just like, you know, testing out left stick a little bit, seeing how it kind of comes off. That is a base characteristic of his that existed on his player of the month as well. Oh, on a red too on the weak foot. I don't know how that first initial dribble worked out. That was weird. I don't know what registration that was, Luigi, but that was not it, my G. Oh, I actually got the chip. Nice. Good finish. Good first time finish. It was a nice pass too, to be fair. It was a very nice pass, but no timing on that strike, but a great finish. Oh, no. Pass was a little bit strange right there, but a great run again. Nice, great goal. Yeah, a card like Simeone, you definitely got to use in a two-striker lineup as much as possible. 4-4-2, 4-1-2 and 2s. Oh, I think did I press L1 by accident? It was a great pass again. Should have finished that. Oh! Oh, I thought that was actually going to go in. No chance. No timing. Great header. Oh, wow, Puyol. What a defensive play. Ooh, on a white. Nice. Great shot. Oh, I should have done the fake shot into the ball roll there, because I was already perfectly positioned for it. Yes, he's onside. Let's go. Let's go, Simeone. Good track back there. Very, very solid track back. Oh, the dribbling was rough there. Yeah, that works. Two-striker formation. He's at least positioned well for the rebound there. It was a good hold-up play by Simeone there to lay off the ball. Zaniolo's pretty big, so definitely out-muscled the dude right there. Oh, I tried to do like a shot cancel or something to work the space. Could not do it though. That works. That works. I tried to get the first time green, but yeah, there was like a driven shot. See, here's the thing, man. If you're not going to dribble too much with this card, you got to give him a hunter, because on the engine chemistry style, it genuinely doesn't it doesn't fix that base dribbling of his. So it's kind of like pointless to give if you're actually going to use this card, you know? Okay, guys, so final verdict on the Simeone card. So for me personally, guys, when it comes to the chemistry styles, I guess more for my personal preference, I would still give him the engine chemistry style, because base card stats for shooting, I would just try to work high percentage strikes as much as possible anyways, right? Because yes, there's going to be moments, obviously, where you're going to try to score a certain opportunity from a certain angle, and sometimes 88 finishing will be a little bit low, but there's moments where I feel like if I had him, you know, to be a little bit more responsive, it would be nice, because you're still giving him that pace boost. But at the same time, guys, it's going to depend on playstyle, right? Because you guys know me, I like to pass and go as much as possible. Pass, dribble, go, right? With a card like this, it would make a ton of sense to give him a hunter chemistry style, to give him a hawk chemistry style, right? Because of the extra physical, but hunter more than hawk, I would say, because the way that the hunter chemistry style is formatted on this card, you give him pretty much perfect pace. You give him perfect shooting inside the 18, not necessarily outside the 18, but perfect shooting is 50-50, because he is going to also be working with the 3-star weak foot, which could hinder the card from time to time, right? But here's the thing about the Simeone card. He genuinely performs very, very similar to his player of the month, which is pretty obvious, because if you take a look at the difference of the card, 1s and 2s, all of that is pretty obvious in game, because even if they improve his dribbling as much as possible, you do notice the average body type when it comes to the dribbling on the card. But when you give him the engine, it does help a little bit, because there's moments where I was testing out the dribbling, you know, forcing certain things that I shouldn't be doing before the review, where I could have just made the extra pass. I could have just made the shot right away, right? So it's not terrible to work with, right? It's a very, very similar situation to the Simeone of the player of the month. You just got to find him in the right situations, because his attacking AI is actually pretty solid. Like when he overcommits, he actually does the track back really nicely to kind of open himself up. It's just that like first touch and that first dribble to get into certain space that can be a nuisance from time to time because of the body type. But that's like every other attacker in the game that has the average body type. Because again, it is a card that you could definitely work with, right? But it's just players that, you know, let's just say, for instance, you want to have a player that dribbles a little bit better. He's not going to be your guy, right? For a card that is 31K, considering the fact that this player of the month card was 45K at the time, you really can't go wrong for someone that you could definitely try out in that striker position. I still prefer someone like the Arnautovic card. Like, honestly, this Arnautovic card is wild, man. Like, he's probably like 10K nowadays, eh? 13K, yeah. Like, this Arnautovic card, 4-star, 4-star, great medium-low work rates. Like, I would work with his dribbling as much as possible. Like I did when I actually did the player review at the time. So, you know, for 13K, 31K, there's a little bit of difference, but there's also a difference between the links as well, which, to be fair, there's not really much to work with, right? Like you got Diego Milito if you want to have some fun, but a lot of the other cards is mostly like icon stuff. Like you can get Pereira, to be honest, you can. I'm not going to say you can't, but nothing too crazy, I would say, for the links you can work with, right? So again, it's a card to use for fun in the Serie A striker position, but I do think that there's better options. However, if you enjoy using the player of the month card at the time, this card will feel slightly better, but very, very similar to how that card felt, in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.